Is everybody ready? Are we excited? Are we excited to learn all about being a distinguished Toastmaster? The number one thing you can do as a Toastmaster is to become a distinguished Toastmaster. Hands down, no question about it. Ask any Toastmaster and they will tell you that that's the truth. And tonight we're going to focus on some of the steps that some people need to still complete to achieve their Distinguished Toastmaster designation. And we're going to talk about both the Advanced Leader Silver program and pathways and what it takes to have that all happen. I know that all of our presenters tonight have all accomplished the Distinguished Toastmaster designation. Two of tonight's presenters, myself and one other person, Kathy Hughes, has also completed the Toastmaster designation within the Pathways program. It is easy to do. It's actually a little easier at times than in the old legacy program, and that's quite exciting. And tonight, we're going to start off our session with our very own Founders District Director, Ms. Christine Brady, who recently got her Distinguished Toastmaster designation. And she's going to talk to us about why a DTM? Why do all this? Why be one of the 1% of all Toastmasters that get this? So Christine, please let us know why we need to do this.
Yes, well, thank you for that introduction, Ken. And Ken is right. I was working hard towards my legacy DTM, and those of you know, we had a deadline to have it done by June 30th of 2020, and that's the day mine got submitted. So nothing like waiting till the last minute. And I am not typically a procrastinator, but you know, for that DTM, there was a few projects that felt big, right? So, you know, when Ken and I were initially talking about this presentation for me, he wanted me to talk about ways that the DTM really does help you in your personal and professional life. Now, many of you won't know, but I tend to be a little bit competitive. I'm not good at sports, so I can't be competitive in the sports world. But when I was looking at all of the requirements to get a DTM, that became a competition for myself to make sure that I got that done. And then I had that added pressure of getting it done by June 30th. So, you know, for me, there was a sense of personal accomplishment. And along with that sense of personal accomplishment came that feeling of confidence, right? That I had the confidence now to tackle any project. And part of that was through working through those projects for Toastmasters. Some of that, you know, was those speaking projects and speaking on maybe topics that I wasn't an expert in, but that I would learn to research and then present those ideas. Learning how to take those evaluations and those comments from my evaluators and make myself become a better speaker. All of those things contributed to my confidence. But also, the thing that really contributed to my confidence, especially in my professional career, was taking those leadership steps. And those first few levels of leadership for me, you know, area director, division director, public relations managers, I moved through those leadership positions. That was always because somebody else pushed me that way. Somebody else would say, I see something in you, those famous words, I see something in you. And, you know, then I would say, okay, I'm going to take this next step. And I went ahead and tackled those leadership positions. But as I've grown through leadership and taken on, you know, club growth, program quality, and now district director, every single year has built on the year before. And there's actually been a few conversations just in the last few weeks. My boss and I are working together to hire somebody, and there's been times when I say to her, I'm going to speak to you as a fellow manager, because as district director, I am a manager for our district, and you know, all of our district leaders do report to me, and I have to, sometimes you don't realize, but being district director is really about being the director of HR for the district and having to help people. But I have actually been able to say to her, I'm going to speak to you as a peer, as a manager, not as your employee, so that I can just tell her very frankly what I think that, what my opinion is. And again, taking that opinion with a grain of salt, right? She doesn't have to do what I'm advising, but it's nice to be able to have that confidence to back up me talking to her as a peer. And without me being on this leadership journey, which is where the DTM award took me, I wouldn't have felt comfortable doing that. The other thing is being able to tackle any speaking project. So of course, there's been times where people ask me to speak, or even off the cuff as district director, if I show up at a club meeting just as a guest, just to see how that club is doing, a lot of times, they want to hear from me and they want me to speak. I would have not been able to form a coherent few sentences to inspire another club before I, was on my DTM journey. I know I could have done it a couple years ago, but by then I had already had a lot of speech projects under my belt. I'd had some designations under my belt. And so getting to DTM really did help me. Somebody is creating an echo, so if you could mute your microphones, that would be great. But the last thing really has to do with my professional life. So when I got my DTM, I was actually on a call with a lot of leaders and people that I respect here in Founders District. We were on a video call and I got the email that I had received my DTM, it had been awarded. And I said to them, I just got my DTM, and the amount of support and congratulations was overwhelming. I think I did cry a little bit. And that night I actually wrote an email to my boss and I let her know that I had achieved this. And I let her know what it meant, because my boss is not in Toastmasters. And so I needed her to understand that it was a big deal, right? It's a big deal to complete your DTM. There's a lot of projects that go behind it. So I let her know, for the legacy program, it's about 40 speeches. It includes various levels of leadership, these different projects. Well, she forwarded that on to our CFO and also to our director of HR. And it was nice to not only hear from those people some congratulations, but our CFO actually let me know he had been in Toastmasters before. And so he understood the work that went behind it. And for some reason, his congratulations meant a little bit more because he understood what it took to get that achievement. Now, one thing that has done is at my company, I've actually been called on now to work on some special projects, and it includes interacting with our company president and interacting with some of our C-suite leaders, and it's going to affect how we report certain things on our public company document, which is the 10K that gets posted to the SEC. This is very nerve-wracking. And when I need to speak to these people and sound like I know what I'm doing, I rely on my Toastmasters training, and I really credit everything that I went through to achieve my DTM in order to stay calm and collected and be able to communicate those ideas. Another interesting aspect of having achieved that DTM is when our company works on big proposals for transportation projects that are federally funded, we are required to put together resumes for each of our employees. And I don't always get added to resumes because I do contract negotiation, but there are certain projects that are big enough and complex enough that they do want a dedicated contract manager working on that project. And I was just recently asked to update that resume to include not only my DTM, but include my volunteer work with Toastmasters and those leadership positions that I've held, to demonstrate not only that I have a full life, that I'm not just working, that I have other things that I'm interested in, but also that this part of my life is actually very fulfilling, and it's very focused on communication and leadership, which is definitely something that we need in our projects, especially working with the federal government. You can imagine how fun that can be sometimes. Kathy Tipton's giving me a thumbs up. She understands. So, all in all, the things that you get when you get your DTM, they're things that you probably already have as a Toastmaster, right? A sense of accomplishment, confidence. You have work skills that you are recognized for. but the DTM just puts a little extra polish on it. And that's why I encourage people to get it. Ken did hit the nail on the head that about 1% of Toastmasters get their DTM. And so think, if you're competitive like me, this is your way to be part of the 1%. Back to you, Ken.
Thank you so much. How inspiring. I'm happy that I'm part of the 1%. It makes me feel special. I'm not in the President's Club. I'm not in the Man Who Walked on the Moon Club, but I am in the Toastmaster DTM Club, and that's pretty darn special. Absolutely. I want to take a few moments and ask a couple of people who are with us today what their thoughts are, why they want to get a DTM and where they are in their journey. Let's start with Alberto. Alberto, where are you in your journey towards getting a DTM?
Well, can you pick the bottom of the barrel? I just started.
That's
I'm on
okay. Then you've started your journey.
Yes, I'm on level 1 on my pathways, and I had to switch, of course, from the legacy program to it, but that's where I am right now, level 1.
That's great. At least you're going in the right direction. That's fantastic. Absolutely. What about Christy Matola? Where are you in your DTM journey? Can she even hear me? I can't hear her though. We'll come back to Christy. Hey, Daisy, where are you in your DTM journey? You have to unmute yourself.
Yes. So I did complete the CC manual, and right now I'm on level 3 on pathways
Nice.
for effective coaching. And today I'm going to give a speech right after this meeting.
Nice. I just started the effective coaching path, so there you go. Excellent. Excellent. Thank you. Eileen, where are you in your pathways journey?
Well, I'm on level 5 of one path, so I have one more project to finish. And then, and I just started, since I joined a new club, I also started a new path. So, and then I don't know what all the other requirements are.
Well, we're going to talk about all that tonight. So
I do have my CC, but I don't think that counts anymore. So.
No, but we will go over all that tonight. You'll find out all that information. And I wanted to find out from Irene Kennedy, where are you in your path towards DTM? Irene, are you there? I see your name. But that's okay. Let's go to Joy. Joy, where are you on your road to path to a DTM?
I've completed 2 paths. I have been a club officer for over a year. I have been an area director, and I have helped with a youth leadership program. So
wow, you're almost there.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. I love it.
Thank you.
I love it. Hey, David, how about you? Where are you in your journey?
Hi, Ken.
Hi.
I just finished up about 6 weeks ago with my first path. Presentation mastery, I finished all 5 levels. So I was happy about that. I did receive the email from the president from Toastmasters where they congratulate you. That was nice. And my other club members were also very happy. So that was really good. I believe I'm the first in my club to finish a path. So yeah, we're really happy about that. The system, though, we're still working on it because I did all those things, I think, properly in the Toastmaster portal, but for some reason it's still showing me as level 4. So I sent a message over to Toastmasters. Hopefully, we can get that resolved.
They'll get it resolved.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, but I'm still pushing forward with that activity.
Great. Well, that's great. Congratulations on completing a path.
Thank you.
That's absolutely fantastic. What about
Steven,
Daniel?
was your level completion submitted in Club Central?
I
Because you have
believe
to
so.
approve it in Basecamp and submit through Club Central.
Yeah, we'll get to all that at the end.
Okay.
Those kind of questions. We'll get to all that at the end. I just want to know from Daniel Fung, where are you in your journey?
I am level 4 on the first path and level 2 on the second path.
Right, so you're getting there. Excellent. Well, I wanted to tell everybody tonight that there's a very easy way to get you over the hump to get to a Distinguished Toastmaster designation. And that is to help the district form a new club. When you form a new club, you can become a sponsor or a club mentor or both. And that is a requirement that you need to really become a Distinguished Toastmaster, especially in the pathway system. Now, it also applies to people still working on their Advanced Leader Silver as well. You don't need quite as much as far as a club coach or club mentor. But it is extremely important that we need to form new clubs to give everybody an opportunity to get to their next level of Distinguished Toastmaster. So tonight, I want each of you to think about the people you interact with each and every day. Think about the people you see in a store or a company or a place you like to eat or a church, another organization you belong to. They're all prime candidates to be a new club. There are certain requirements. We don't want to talk about all those tonight because it'll just make your head explode, because we're going to talk more about the DTM. However, if you know somebody who might want to start a new club, tell me their name, their phone number, or their email, or both, and I'll talk to them, and you can become a sponsor of that club and complete one of your requirements to become a Distinguished Toastmaster. You all want to be in that 1%. Like Gregory Reed, he's already in the 1%. It's a really good thing for him. And he's sitting here listening to this going, how am I going to get my second one now in Pathways? I think that's what he's thinking about right now. But more importantly, the goal is to think about a new club and where a new club can be formed. Now, Daniel is a division director in Division D here in the Founders District this year. And in his division, he has a new club already this year, which is great. But he himself was not a sponsor nor a mentor for that club. So he cannot take advantage of that new club for his own personal DTM journey. So he theoretically needs to work on getting yet another club. And more importantly, that is the thrust of how we're going to make everybody into Distinguished Toastmasters. Because without new clubs, it is almost impossible to become a Distinguished Toastmaster, to have the requirement of a club mentor, a club sponsor, and then there are other things like a club coach, and there's some youth leadership things. We're going to talk about all that as we go. But most importantly, keep in mind, you as Toastmasters want to pay it forward. You want to help people experience what you've experienced, to grow like you've grown, to help people understand the confidence that you've gained as a Toastmaster and make their lives that much better. Because we all know, as Toastmasters, the program works. The program really makes for people, I don't want to say a better communicator, absolutely. More confident, absolutely. But it really does enhance and improve your life. And you get to make new friends along the way. And that's even the best part of the whole package, I think. You build friendship, you build yourself, and you pay it forward by helping people form a new club. So go out, think about where we can have a new club here in the Founders District in Orange County. Let me know that information. I will follow up. I'll work with you. You'll be the sponsor, mentor, whatever you want to do, whatever we need to do to help make you become part of that 1%. Now, there are certain requirements to all this, and we have a great group of panelists tonight to help describe each and every one of them. Our first panelist is going to talk about, being a club sponsor. She is a 2-time Distinguished Toastmaster, once in the Legacy Program and once in Pathways, and she is one of the most knowledgeable persons in the entire Founders District about Toastmasters. It's crazy what this person knows. I'd like to introduce all of you to the amazing Kathy Hughes.
Thank you, Ken. My goodness, I'm gonna have to live up to that, huh? I earned my DTM in the Legacy Program in April of 2018, and I earned my second DTM in October of 2019. So Pathways took me about 18 months to complete the DTM. My Legacy Program took me about 7 years. it goes pretty quick in Pathways. So you have two choices, and obviously becoming a club sponsor is one of the things that will contribute to your success as a DTM, and there's changes depending on whether you're going for your DTM in the legacy program or the DTM in the traditional program, because the requirements are just slightly different. And I'll share that with you. I also want to drop a couple of things in the chat real quick for you that are just my virtual handouts. So let me attach a file on the club sponsor file, but I'm also going to put the club mentor one in there because I'll be talking about that next. And we'll put in the club sponsor. All right, so that didn't attach. Ken, I'm not sure why. It saying it was a network thing. Resend. All right, I'll work that out after the fact, but I do have some great handouts for you. And so I would like to share really quickly something that is different in the, all right. No screen sharing either? Is that disabled, Ken? I can do without it. It looks like
no,
it's disabled by the host.
Oh, screen sharing. There you go. Go for it.
All right.
And your chat should have worked. I also posted something in the chat as well. So
it gave me a network disconnect, so it may be on my end.
yeah.
And
Okay.
if you are seeing my shared screen,
Not yet. Now we are.
you should see the Pathways DTM chart on how you get there. And with regard to being a club sponsor, a club mentor, or a club coach, which one or the other of all three of those was the requirement for the legacy program, but now in Pathways, you may have to be both a club sponsor and a club mentor or a club coach. So I just wanted to share that really quickly with people so that will help you understand. And that's all that I will share with you today. But club sponsors and club mentors are all around new clubs, and new clubs are really exciting. A lot of vibrant new members, all excited to start their Toastmasters journey, but they don't know what to do and they need your help. And they need you, but you need them too. As a sponsor, this is a way that you can grow your leadership skills and learn a lot about the inner workings of new club formation and come out of it a richer and happier person. So regardless of whether it gets you your DTM and you get there in a hurry, many people will tell you being a club sponsor is a great thing to choose because it's quick. That's not necessarily true, but it can be the quickest way between club mentor and club sponsor, because club sponsor, at the very minimum, you would need to go to the club charter meeting and possibly club demo meeting and a lunch and learn meeting, maybe 3 of their meetings, and then they charter and your work is done. You are there as a club sponsor to help get them chartered. You are there to help run the demo meetings, to help them fill roles in meetings, to be a cheerleader, to be a PR person trying to pull all of the members in so that they can get to their charter strength of 20 members. And you are around for theoretically a short period of time. There's one caveat on that. is that it sometimes takes a new club quite a while to get to 20 members. I see a few people out there, and a show of hands if you've been a sponsor of a club that didn't charter quite so quickly. Ken himself, sometimes it takes a while. So it's not a guarantee, but a club sponsor helps get the club chartered. The first preparatory meetings, you're there to support. You're there to help fill out the paperwork possibly, and help serve roles in the initial meetings, getting them going. You need a sign-off at the end of your sponsorship. So you can't just go there, show up, and be a deadbeat. You need to perform well enough that the president of the new club will sign off your club sponsor completion. And then that's your club sponsorship. It's a very important role because those crucial first meetings are really important, or that club may not get off the ground. You want them to get a good start. You want them to feel like they understand the basics of the meeting. And there's teamwork involved because you're going to work hand in hand together as a team with the club mentors. Typically, there will be 2 sponsors assigned and 2 mentors assigned. So those 4 people, plus the help of the club growth team, will be part of the running those first 3 meetings: lunch and learn, demo meeting, and finally the successful club launch meeting. I have a handout I will desperately try to send you, but let me tell you that there are some different things that are rules for club coaches, and some different links to information on the website that is very interesting, and that's contained in your handout. So I didn't intend to go over it in detail. I realize you don't have the handouts, but I'll make sure that I can attach them and get them to you. I'm just going to try to do a resend again to see if the network issue is, no, it just wants to give me immediate network disconnect. Ken, I'll send them to you if you can attach them after this presentation.
Yeah, go ahead and send them to me, and then I'll do that while you talk about being a club mentor. Absolutely. So what do you think, everybody? Do you want to be a sponsor of a club? It's not an easy task. And being a sponsor of a club, you really are the one who's building that club and building those people up to be great Toastmasters. And you're setting the tone for that club as a sponsor. It's so, so important that you do that. I wanted to take a moment while Kathy's taking a breath and figuring things out to talk to Christy. Christy, you said your microphone wasn't working, but what was your Toastmasters DTM journey?
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. We can see you now.
Yeah, I was scrambling there, guys. I think you saw a hand go up. I wasn't sure what was going on with this thing. Anyhow, mine was, I had a little bit of a similar journey as Christine. I did not know that at the time that you were scrambling with a legacy thing. You know I called you, and you were gracious enough to help me navigate that process. And so I had been a Toastmaster for 10 years and had done at least 70, 80 speeches in that time frame, just repeating them over and over again, and wasn't keeping my eye on the ball. I knew it was coming up where if you were going to go for it as far as a DTM, that you'd have to really pull it all together. And so it took a lot of collaboration with some of my people that have been in my club for a long time to help. I didn't know that they weren't logging everything on the site, so we had to do a lot of fancy footwork on getting that done in a timely manner. And Christine was very, very helpful in my process with that. Where I've gone to since then, being on Legacy, you've got that, what is that called? That leadership project that you have to do. And so I've chosen to focus that on, I'm newly married as of last year. And I've decided to focus it on the company that my husband and I together now own, which is a health club. And we all know what health clubs are going through during this COVID timeframe. So we're designing I'm at the helm because my skill sets are in marketing and public relations and everything that has to do with being in from the investment banking side, reorging. So we're reinventing his business model. And I put together a team of people that, thank God, are really strong people in that space. And so we're launching a lot of initiatives. So I've got the leadership path. I've already done parts of what is required out of the manual with that, or not the manual, but, oh yeah, it is a manual. I forgot out of that. With respect to some of these other roles here, and obviously I'm an area director, I'm dancing between sponsor and mentor. And why I say that is that because of my media background and because of what's happened with COVID, which for some people has been negative in general, Toastmasters has had a tremendous amount of attrition. I can see that as being an area director with some of my corporate clubs that aren't showing up. They're working from the home, and so they've put the pause button on Toastmasters. And then the energy level for some clubs, ours has been holding up well. My home club is, tell me if I'm talking too much, by the way. I just realized I'm just talking on and on.
We're going to give you about another 30 seconds.
All right. So, so one of the initiatives that I have, because I stepped back into the VPPR for my club, and also because we've been Distinguished Toastmasters, President's Distinguished for 40 years. We're the founding club in 231F, where Colette Gardner was. And so that just went, breaks my heart to see that happening. And part of it is that people want that live interaction. So I am spearheading, starting this Monday, the first of what I know, certainly in California, could be statewide, countrywide, I don't know, but I'm jumping into the hybrid version, test driving it. We've been putting together, because I used to do a talk show and all that, we're bringing it into our health club in the Group X room, which is large, and we can do the social distancing and all that. But since our location was in a corporate, beautiful Class A building that won't let us back in because of COVID, the conference room that we're utilizing, there were a couple people in my club that said, I joined Toastmasters because I want the live experience. So we're going to be doing the hybrid, live and Zoom, launching it. And I've already had people asking me, how are you going to do that? Somebody from out of state, they learned about that because my area director thing was in my square when my husband was using Zoom, and they said, Christy's an area director? We got this Toastmasters club, and he started telling her what I was up to. So that could put me into a mentoring role for some people that are struggling, possibly working out the kinks at large for other people to be able to model. So I don't know if I'm a mentor or a sponsor, because if the club thing happens in the club I'm at, which I co-own, we may spin off doing a separate club within that club. So I haven't decided yet. So that's where I'm at.
Okay, it sounds good. I like it. The hybrid meeting is something that's going to come up in the future. Absolutely. But as we know, Toastmasters right now prefers people to meet online because we are very concerned about the safety of all members. That is paramount number one. Absolutely.
It's already happening. I've had that club that called me.
Yeah,
did
I know.
First meeting. So
I've heard about it. So that's it. Anyway, and one thing that Christy mentioned, and this is kind of important, and we didn't really put it in the agenda, and I do want to mention it. To achieve a DTM, you do have to have a year of district service. As an area director, a division director, you need to accomplish that role as well. We're going to have some other meetings, and I believe in December, and Christine, you can tell me if I'm right or wrong, on December 5th, I think it is. Maybe she's gone, I don't know. Or maybe
December
Julie.
5th. Yeah, it's December 5th. Mm-hmm.
That we're having a breakfast that you are more than welcome to come to become an area director and learn what it's all about. So that's a very important step in becoming a DTM.
Well, you'll learn all of the roles, Ken. You'll learn what all the available roles are.
I was getting to that.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I was getting to that.
I'm sorry, I trust you.
Thank you. I was getting that. But yes, we're going to talk about all those things that you want to do to become a distinguished Toastmaster. Absolutely. It's a good thing. Now, in the chat, I posted a chart for everyone to look at to see what it takes to be a distinguished Toastmaster in the legacy program and in Pathways. And I also put Kathy's documents in there as well. And speaking about Kathy, I'd like to return to her. She's going to talk to us now about being a club mentor, which is something that happens at the beginning of the club. Now, there's a difference between being a mentor in a club and being a club mentor. And that's a very big distinction. She's going to tell us all about that. Take it away, Kathy.
Thank you, Ken, and thank you for including the handouts in the chat. I was having issues with that. Club mentoring has a lot more to it than a club sponsor. One of the things is that club sponsors, club mentors, both join in on meetings with a prospective new club, usually before they charter. But the mentors really start their job at charter date. And their responsibility as a club mentor is to support and encourage, advise, answer questions, offer external training resources to them, encourage them to get outside their club into lace presentations and speech contests and all the things that we hope will be back face-to-face soon. But each new club may be appointed 2 mentors by the club growth director or the district director. Those mentors need to be experienced Toastmasters that attend all of the new club's meetings for the first 6 months, or you may choose to attend even up to a year. These are clubs that form with a charter number of at least 20 members, so they're healthy clubs, but they're very, very fragile. And you need to make sure that they understand that they keep needing to work on that membership. They need to really work on understanding the educational goals that their members can achieve. You'll need to have all the knowledge going in as a club mentor to be able to point to those different resources that the executive committee of this new club will need. You'll want to sit in on their executive committee, make sure they know how to run an executive committee meeting. Mentors at the end of the 6-month period will apply using the same form for their completion, which is their get credit form. As part of the club charter paperwork, there's a get credit form for both sponsors and members. It has to be turned into TI at the new clubs at toastmasters.org mailing address, and that will have the president of the new club's signature on it that you completed your service successfully. Now, what would you have to do as a club mentor that's different than a club coach? Well, you're going to need to have a much stronger rapport with the club. You're going to be part of their meeting, both you and your partner. Hopefully both of you are club mentors there. You need to be able to give them the background of Toastmasters. What's the history of the organization? What's the relationship between the organization and the member? A club mentor needs to be very strong in the Pathways program. They need to understand all the questions new members have about Pathways, because remember, they're all going to be brand new, so they won't be starting any of them in the legacy program. And point them to training that exists in the district that you can give them external training. I know Charlotte Drake is running a weekly training that was very valuable for new members of brand new clubs. You need to work with the team, be there to answer their questions, of course, but try to help them build those positive habits. Now, I know I've been a member of several different clubs, and some of my clubs have, gotten a little sloppy in a couple areas. Maybe we were really diligent in those habits early on, but you know, we morph a little over the years and get a little relaxed on some things. But it's really important for brand new members to see what a positive habit is, that their attendance at meetings, you know, should be regular. They need to learn the best way to give excellent evaluations and how to teach them to do some of these things, like show that positivity and encouragement and that supportive atmosphere that Toastmasters is all about. That's everything we know about this organization, but they don't know it. They need you to help them. Remember, they're their own club, though. They may do things different ways. You're not there to tell them exactly what to do. You're helping guide them, but let them make some of their own decisions. You know, are they going to vote for best speaker and best table topics? Are they going to do the Pledge of Allegiance? Are they going to do an inspiration instead? Or different things about how they run their meeting is up to them, but you're there to support them, answer their questions, and where asked, give advice. Club mentor is one of the most important things that you can do. It's the make or break of a new club. Many clubs charter with their successful 20 or 30 or even more members, but they cannot make the year after, and they struggle. But with a good mentor, and I think that might be all of you, you can make a club into a great new club.
Wow, thank you, Kathy. I told you she knows everything. Was I lying? No, absolutely. Now, I know that people think of club mentor, club coach. It's great to do all these things. The district right now is in dire need of club coaches. And if you only need one thing left to do to get your DTM in the old legacy system, become a club coach or do a youth leadership project. We're going to talk about those two things coming up in just a moment. But we need coaches desperately. And if you know somebody who's a club coach or wants to be a club coach, let myself or any of the members of your district know, of your area director or your division director, whomever. It'll all funnel back and we will help find that club a coach, because we want every club to succeed. There's no reason why they cannot succeed. They just may need a little push. Absolutely. And tonight, we're going to learn all about club coaching, which is very, very different than club mentoring. From our very own past, Jean, were you a select distinguished division director, I think? Jean Tankery, she was the Division D division director until just recently. She was select distinguished, I think. So Jean, yeah, take it away, please. Tell us about club coaching. Where is Jean? Jean, unmute.
Hi. I have a set of slides that I'd like to share as well.
While Jean's getting her slide sharing, Kathy, I noticed you have your hand up. Did you have a question, or did it just accidentally click?
I'm good, thank you.
You're welcome.
Somehow, I'm not seeing how to.
Let me make sure. Everybody should be able to share. Why is this? Okay, hang on a second. I don't want to share my screen. I don't know why we cannot share your screen.
Either make her into a co-host or you can go to security and allow any participant
That's
to
what I'm going to
share.
do right. That's what
I see a number of different things to share, but not what I want to share.
Yeah, no. I understand. Hold on a second. Where's the co-host thing?
Oh, I think she can share. She was saying like she go to that screen, but she couldn't find what she want to share. Hey,
Oh.
Jean, you have to open your file first, whatever file you want to share.
Yeah, absolutely.
Then you can, the share
It's-
screen will let you choose it.
It's open, but it's not showing up as a list of something to share.
Oh, then it must be open in full screen mode then. How about you just share the desktop, then we'll see whatever is on your desktop.
Yeah.
The first choice in the basic sharing on the upper left-hand corner.
Now I've got it on full screen. Now I can't see anything on the Zoom. Let's see. Okay. Book one. Okay. Can you see it now?
Now we can see it.
Okay.
We got it. All right.
Welcome to the world of club coaching. What is a club coach? It's an experienced Toastmaster who assists a club that wants to succeed. That's important. You can't force a club that needs a coach to have one. You have to have somebody who wants one, and they want to rebuild their club membership, which is probably the main reason that they're reaching out, and restore their club quality. Each successful coach, they do all these things that are on the screen: build rapport, instill enthusiasm, assess club environment, recommend best practices, work with club leaders, and encourage the club. But it's more than that. It is sort of like, in some ways, it's like the mentor position, in that you live with the club, you work with the club. Many club coaches actually join the club. They can't be a member of the club before they become a coach, but once they become a coach, then they can join, which may be helpful if they're trying to build up membership. And it's, you work with them, you can't, depending on the coach, on the club itself, some are advanced and some are, for all intents and purposes, needing a mentor rather than a coach, because the membership has turned over so much that the people who were leading the club are no longer there. I worked with a club in that situation, and the co-mentor and I had to help them, but not deluge them with too much so that they just sort of pulled back and pulled into their shell. And so we had to do it in small pieces and help them and encourage them. Another club that I worked with, they were advanced, but they didn't have new members. They only had 5 or 7 old members. They had a lot to offer. They just didn't have anybody coming to accept the offer. Well, starting Monday mornings at 7 o'clock might have had a teensy bit to do with it. So with them, it's get them to move off of that time and into a different location and have open houses and let the world know. Also, they needed to have a message that they wanted to give to get people to come. And they came up with one. We didn't have to do it. They did it. Now this club, after they did that, they're doing great. But while they were building up, some of them were very stubborn. You couldn't get them to do anything. They were going to do their thing the way they wanted to do it, and the people would come or they would turn in their charter. They got down to around Thanksgiving, and they had 8 members. Woo-hoo! Now they can be a club in good standing. No. They wanted to have 10 members by the end of the year, or they were going to fold up and turn in their charter. They moved their location, and probably their location helped. It wouldn't help anybody else, but it helped them. They got 2 members to join between Thanksgiving and New Year's. They got their 10. They turned all their info in, and they got people that they wanted. They wanted business people. They didn't want just anybody. They had their standards. They still do. 2 years later, this club is a President's Distinguished. This is a role model club. It's what can happen when you work with a club. Now, I know this doesn't sound overly encouraging, some of these things. That it sounds like herding cats. Who would want to do that? Somebody who wants to pay it forward and help someone down the line after someone had helped them and their club. Or someone who is a natural teacher. These people are out there and they want to give. They want others. They want members and clubs that are not doing so well. They want them to have as good an experience as the club coach has had previously. So sometimes it's difficult, but we need to encourage people to want to do that. And if all else fails, serving as a club coach helps you get your DTM award, it's been said before. That makes the herding cats look a little better. So that is where we want to go. Now, what does it take, or how long of a commitment? It can be fairly long. It can be the better part of 2 years. It depends on how soon the club gets to be a distinguished club. At the end of June. That's when it counts. They can be distinguished in March, but if they don't have the members in June, what happened in March is immaterial. So as soon as you get an end of June, and they are a distinguished club, then you are a successful club coach. Whether it's 3 months or it's 23 months or longer. So that's it can be a long process. Now, how does a club get a coach? They have to have at least one member, but be fairly low on membership, 12 or less. The club has to be in good standing, and they can get as many as 2 coaches at one time. If you want to be a club coach, you must be a member in good standing and not be an existing member of the club that you want to coach. After you're the official coach, then you join. If you are looking for more information, we have websites to go to, and all these wonderful people who are here to help, because the club coaches may not know absolutely everything. Kathy Hughes notwithstanding, she may know everything. But the rest of us, sometimes we need help, and these are the people that we go to when we are looking for help. Now, we are looking for you to come and join us and help make a Toastmaster club that is not quite where it wants to be, that wants to be a really successful club, to help them figure out how they can be the best club that they can be. Not a clone of your club, but their own style of best club. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jean. And what I want to also mention that Jean did not mention, that when we're looking for a club coach, we want somebody who's really relatively proficient in pathways. That's hard to say all those P's. Proficient in pathways, so they can help those members go on their pathways journey. Absolutely. And now I will say that you can be a club coach, and you can do it in 3 months. And the goal to get when you're a club coach, you want your club to be distinguished, which means your membership has to be 5 over the base number. So if there's a membership of 8 and you finish the year at 13, that's successful, and 5 distinguished club goals accomplished. That's how you do it. That's the bare minimum. And it can be done relatively rapidly. It can be done over a long period of time. It depends on the club's motivation. Think of yourself as a coach in a football team when you're a club coach. You're there to motivate the members to do the best that they can do to make that club thrive. That's one of the things we can do to be a distinguished Toastmaster. And more importantly, we need people right now to help clubs in our district that are struggling. They're strong clubs, they want to be stronger. We want to help them become stronger. So if you want to sign up to be a coach, you should do it. I'm going to do it myself and coach a club in the very, very near future towards my next DTM journey as well. And I encourage all of you to do the same. Absolutely. But there's something else you can do to help yourself in the journey. And that is train the youth of tomorrow. Because when you help the youth of tomorrow become better communicators and speakers at a young age, they're going to do better in school, they're going to do better in college, they're going to get a better job, they're going to earn a lot more money than if they didn't do the program at a young age. And to tell us all about how to become a youth leadership, and probably she may talk a little bit about speechcraft, is our very own Kelly Modikeff. Now, Kelly, you just got your DTM too, I believe. So
yes, yay! Thank you, Ken. Yes, just like Ken said, if you would like to be an influencer of the children are our future, as we always hear, but now you can make a difference in their lives. Not only that, but you are fulfilling a DTM requirement. Basically, the youth leadership program is an 8-week program. It is basically a mini version of what we do as Toastmasters. It's usually an hour to an hour and a half. Each session is about an hour and a half long. It's spread out through 8 weeks. There are about maximum of 25 students for each session. You don't want to have more than that because you want to give each student a chance to speak. They are from 8 to 17 years old. The average age is about 12, 13, 14 years old. So you don't have to be one of those people that, oh, I don't like working with small children. If you like working with teenagers, if you like working with middle schoolers, they're so wonderful. They're so amazing. They just want to learn. They're soaking up knowledge. They're so fun to work with. And they're learning something that we wish we had known when we were younger. And I'm the poster child of this because in 8th grade, I actually did participate in a youth leadership program. We had a little contest at the end and I won first place as best speaker. And I wish I had continued. I didn't know how important it was, but now you can be one of those people that shows them how valuable Toastmasters is. When I was about, let's see, maybe a few years ago, I started thinking about taking a speaking class. And I thought, oh, you know what? I wonder if I could find something on Meetup. So I went on Meetup. Then I thought about, oh, I wonder if Toastmasters is around because I was in Toastmasters when I was younger. I wonder if they're still around. And lo and behold, I looked up on Meetup. I found Toastmasters on Meetup. I found my club. The rest is history. I'm so happy that I found my club because I was one of the students when I was younger. So not only are you fulfilling a DTM requirement, but you are helping future Toastmasters. Someday these young adults are going to become adults and they might want to look up Toastmasters and become a Toastmaster. Perhaps their parents want to join with them. I always encourage the parents. I tell them, your child is doing it. You can do it too. You can join a Toastmasters club. So there's so many win-wins with a youth leadership program. You are learning to be a better leader. You are earning your DTM. You are helping a future Toastmaster. Win-win for the students because they're learning something valuable. Then later on, they might become a future Toastmaster. Their parents might want to become a member. So there's so many winning factors in the youth leadership program. And if you're not sure what you need to do or how to break it down or how to teach it to them, I can help you. I can give you some advice. I've been a coordinator myself. I've also been assistant coordinator. That's the other thing. You don't have to do it all alone. You can also have an assistant. I had a wonderful assistant that helped me and I couldn't have done it without her. Likewise, when I was an assistant, I was able to sub for my coordinator when he was absent one time. So you're helping each other. You're not doing it alone. Your club is sponsoring it. I'm sure if you look at your club, there are some members in your club that maybe have children that want to be a part of this program. Have them start a youth leadership program with your club. So I just love doing it because not only because I'm a teacher, but also I see the value in it because I participate myself and now I'm a Toastmaster and I wish, and I tell all my friends who are parents, I tell them how valuable it is. And I tell them it's free. It's free, F-R-E-E. How many things are really, truly free nowadays? And I tell them, this is a wonderful opportunity. Get your kids involved. How many things are free now? I mean, I just tell them how valuable it is and how wonderful and amazing it is. I know that kids are busy nowadays, but I hope that my friends and my colleagues can start to see the value of that and have their kids participate in it. Again, it's free. No strings attached. It's free. I keep telling them, and they haven't taken up on my offer. I hope they realize it before it's not free anymore. But anyway, I love doing it, and I hope that I can find some other coordinators, other members who would like to join me on this journey of teaching our future. Back to you, Ken.
Thank you so much. What an amazing thing. Help the kids, help yourself.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great, great program. Now, I know that we've talked a lot about the road to DTM, starting a new club, being a club coach, being a mentor, youth leadership, all these different things we're talking about. We didn't really talk a lot about district service. I encourage all of you to join us on December 5th. We're going to talk about district leadership at a special event. You'll be hearing about it coming up. That is a big, big thing. We could spend hours on that alone, but we will do that at another date. But now I want to open it up for questions. And I know that we already have a question from Anne or Kelly. The question is, does the assistant coordinator also get Toastmaster credit towards their DTM? And I believe, Kelly, you know the answer to that, yes?
Okay, the assistant does not. However, if you would like to appeal to someone who is hesitant, you can say that there's the assistant now, and then that later on they can be a coordinator so that they know the ropes. They can ease into being a coordinator so they know what they can do next time. So unfortunately, they don't get credit for it, but it helps them to ease into transitioning to become a coordinator for themselves later on.
Absolutely. And one of the things about being a youth leadership coordinator is that it's one of the shortest term things you have to do to become a distinguished Toastmaster. So keep that in mind. Now, we have other questions. Just shout it out if you got it. We'll try and go for it.
I have a question, Ken.
And Kathy, you had something? Kathy Tipton, I know you had your hand up.
No, I'm fine.
Okay. Christy, you have a question?
Yeah, on the club sponsor thing, I'm reading one of the documents you sent over that says it's an existing club can help sponsor a new club. That was something that is information that we haven't really done that in Founders District, but great question, Christy, is that they do allow for a caveat for a club to sponsor a new club, but only 2 people can get credit. Well, no, that's fine. That part's fine, but I'm saying, like in the situation I was describing. Yes. So 2 people would get the credit, but your club and could. Steve Babiak, who's not on this meeting, who I pretty much convinced to go for his DTM. We looked at doing some of these things together, and he's busy like I am, and I keep trying to keep him in the game because he's got all the other stuff he's got to deal with. But if you can actually do it this way, that may encourage me. But I can do that offline because this is so specific to my particular case. But I just wanted to be sure. It's the first time I'm reading something like that, so I thought, wow, that's an interesting way of going about it also. So I guess, who would I talk to more about that? Can you or?
Myself or anybody on the club growth team, we can help you with that when we get to that point. Absolutely. I'm working on a similar situation for Wine on Wednesday, actually.
Oh, really?
Having that club help sponsor a new club. Absolutely.
And is there some sort of a timeline that, and maybe I missed it in the discussion, that you have to achieve that within this period that you're, like, I'm an area director, so I've got this year window where all this stuff has to happen, right? The club sponsor, is there a timeline? The club sponsor is a little bit open-ended. If the club doesn't get its 20 members quickly, that it's kind of up to Ken. You might find yourself in a position where you say, hey, we're just gonna stop working on this club. It's been already 9 months and they are not making progress.
Yeah, exactly.
you know, and then,
That happened. That happened to me recently.
And you can have, well, let's just use this case in point I was referring to. You can have people from an existing club help another club get going, and then they can become members of both clubs if they choose, because they like both clubs.
Absolutely. Yes.
And then it would count for your 20?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, absolutely.
yeah.
But also to answer your question,
Certain
you
number
don't
of,
have to be the area director and the sponsor in the same year. It doesn't have to all happen in the same year. I think that was your question, right?
Well,
Because you are area director right now, you don't have to have all the credit will get saved up when you want to claim it later on.
Well,
with one caveat, there's one important thing that he did not mention. If you're still on the legacy program,
I am.
you have to get everything done by June of next year, period.
Right. Okay, so,
Oh yeah,
so
that's
that means I have 20 members of the new club by June.
Or before, yeah, you need to do it really before that because it takes a little while to charter. And
how
then
long
you
does
want to
that
really
take?
get it, if you can really do it by April, you'll be much better off. Seriously, because it'll get backed up at Toastmasters and things may not happen. But if all the paperwork's in by the end of June, it'll still count. It just will drag, that's all. You just won't know the outcome for a month or two.
Okay.
Sort of like Jean Tankery. I forgot that she became a Toastmaster at the end of June of this year as well. I totally spaced out about that. So she had to get all of her paperwork in like Christine. I think they were tag teaming and mailing together. I don't know how it worked. They didn't tell me. Doing what they were doing, whatever it was they were doing. Absolutely. Any other questions? So everybody understands the role of a coach? And who wants to be a coach on this call besides myself? Who wants to do it?
I want to be a coach or a youth leadership coordinator.
Well, you can do both.
Well, one or the other. See what we need.
Well, we need coaches for sure, and Kelly definitely needs youth leadership coordinators. So either whatever you decide.
Jean said you couldn't be a member of a club that you coached, but can you be an
No, you can. No, that's not true.
Oh, you can do it after. You can't start
after you're appointed.
You can start coaching a club, and about a month after you start coaching the club, you can become a member of that club. But you have to do support first, and then you can become a member.
What about, can you coach a club that you're an area director for? You know there's a club in mind that needs a lot of help.
Yes, I know.
You can definitely do that.
You can.
You can, absolutely.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
There's no reason why you can't do that.
All right, I'm going to read this, the details and weigh it all out now.
Yeah. Do I understand it correctly that now for the sponsor, you have to achieve charter in order to get credit. For a sponsor, you have to achieve distinguished club to get credit. But mentor is just a...
Wait, I know what you're saying. As a sponsor, you have to achieve charter. As a mentor, you just help the club. As a coach,
for 6 months.
Right. And then as a coach, you have to achieve distinguished to get credit.
Right. And then the youth leadership is the 10-week program. So mentor and youth leadership are time bound versus the sponsor and the coach are performance bound, basically.
Has anybody done a chart like the pros and cons of each of these and the time?
No.
I have a little slide. I could try to put it in the chat.
What?
I have a little slide on the coach versus mentor versus sponsor.
Oh, please put it in the chat.
It's really short, not maybe as much as you want to see, but
it's really there. So Irene, Kennedy, I haven't heard from you tonight. What do you think? What do you want to do?
Hi, is my mic working now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yes.
Sorry, my
Yes.
mic's not working.
You're working. We can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes, we can. Oh, we're losing it.
Irene chatted privately with me. She said she's interested in the youth leadership program.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. And Daisy, what about you? What do you think you would like to do?
Oh, okay. You can hear me? Okay. I did send a text to Kelly for the Youth Leadership Program.
Mm-hmm.
And also I may be interested in being either a club mentor or a club coach.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, we can use coaches right now desperately. So that would be great. And then I want to ask Daisy, what do you think you might like to do?
I was thinking club coach,
Okay.
Great.
and I'm not sure. Well, I mean, Chris already asked. I am area director for a club, and I mean, if I could, I'm thinking of that club. But if another club would be better suit me, I'm open to that too.
Okay. Well, we can find you a club. I guarantee it. I
Okay.
guarantee it. I guarantee it.
Okay.
And Shamizu, are you going to coach or mentor or sponsor or start a club, or what are you going to do?
Well, actually, I just finished a stint as a mentor, so I actually have that box checked, Ken. But I do need to fulfill the space for either sponsor or youth leadership. So I would be willing to do one of those two.
Nice. Okay. Sounds good. Sounds good. Kelly will take you with open arms. So will I. Absolutely. Do we have any other questions from anybody? Did everybody learn something tonight?
I
hope.
did. I did.
You did? That's
I
good.
did. I learned about the club could sponsor a new club. That was exciting.
Oh yes, absolutely. It's kind of fun. I know. It's a great concept. And like I say, for Wine on Wednesday, for those people who don't know, it's a club I'm in. We are working on sponsoring an international wine club, and we're working on that very project as we speak. So it's a good thing. And Craig Reed, I didn't hear from you.
Wine on Wednesday. Where is this club?
On the 28th of this month, we're meeting.
Okay.
Yeah, we meet monthly. We're the last Wednesday of the month.
Last Wednesday.
And Christy, you need to come because it is a great club.
Are you zooming with your wine glass in your hand? Is
Yes.
that it?
Yes. Yeah, the thing that makes our club special is we always have a wine educational. So the first speech is always about either a specific bottle of wine or a specific varietal of wine, and the speaker gives the speech on the wine.
Absolutely.
And yeah.
So is it kind of like Book of the Month Club? You all drink the same wine at the same time?
Yeah, it's easier when we're in person.
Yeah.
But I'm actually doing the wine educational this month, and I picked my wine. And if people have the wine, that's great. And if they don't, they can maybe get interested and buy the bottle later.
What time is the meeting?
We start at 6:30, Ken?
6:30.
7 a.m. No.
6:30.
Yeah.
5 o'clock.
Before the sun comes up. Right when the clubs close.
I want to ask Alberto a quick question. Alberto, are you inspired to become a DTM as you're just starting your journey?
Well, if anything, Ken, what I have learned, there's a long way to go, and it's going to be very, very tenuous because, like I told you, I just finished level 1, and hearing all your speakers talking about mentorship and sponsorship and youth leadership, it's going to be quite a road for me. But yes, I am willing to go.
I want to give you some encouragement. When I got my Pathways DTM, it took me 18 months.
Me too.
Well, it's not that long. It's not that hard.
Very well. Well done. And I better get my effort behind it. Thank you for the encouragement.
Absolutely. We're looking forward to hanging the ribbon around your neck and the little medallion. And you get that beautiful plaque sent to you from Toastmasters International. It's a great feeling, and I hope you have it soon.
And when I do get it, I will get on that conga line.
Yes.
Yeah, you can do that too.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Very well.
Absolutely.
I'd like to see how your people can hug each other virtually.
I like your idea of doing it a conga style. I think that's good.
Yeah, she's the district director, so she calls the shots.
I know. You just gave me a great idea, Alberto. I like it.
I love it. I love it. Does anyone else have any questions? If not, I want to say thank you to everyone who was here tonight. I know it's been a lot of information. We posted things in the chat. My name, of course, is Ken Spears. I can be reached at kenspears1960@gmail.com or in the Club Growth at Founders District. And I'll be happy to send you any information you like. I can put you in touch with whoever you need to be in touch with. And I want everybody on this call next June to have their next or first DTM. Thank you all. Have a great evening.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye.
Ken. Great event. Thank you.
Thanks.
Oh, Anne, I see your question.
Joy, are you
Yes.
inspired?
Yes.
Yes.
Just curious, because
Yes.
I'll finish mine at the WOW meeting in November.
So Anne asked in the private chat, just to me, is the district still giving out path medals when a path is complete? So the district decided that we would do that when Pathways rolled out. And we have different colored ribbons for each of the paths that represent, you know, which path that you've completed. So somebody like Charlotte Drake could have all 11 colors and then some.
Can't wait to find out what my path color is.
Yeah.
I'm on my 8th path now, so there you go.
There you go. Yeah.
Okay,
So
it's taken me a little longer than 18 months, but that's
I know it's taken me a little longer too. It's okay. I was finishing my legacy, so. But
well,
yeah,
you know, and I'm doing 2 at the same time, so.
Yeah, see, I know. Yeah.
I did it weird. But I will finish one path in November, and then I have to finish the other one and a few other steps, and there you go. So
yeah, in fact, you're reminding me I
by
need to give
June.
I need to
DTM by
give the
June.
I need to give the path the little medals box with all the medals. I need to give it to David because I still have it. So you're reminding me to do that.
All right.
Cool.
Thanks,
All
guys.
right, well, I'm gonna go eat some dinner. Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks for being here. Take it back to your, Daniel, take it back to your area directors, okay?
Yeah, my area directors are here. A few of them, like 3 or 4 of them are here today.
That's great.
Yeah. Okay.
I love it. I love it.
Thank
Thanks
you.
so much.
Thank you. It's a great, very informative.
Great, thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
And Greg Reed, I didn't hear from you tonight. Gregory Reed, what's going on over there? Gregory Reed? He's not listening to me. Kelly, thank you very much.
Thank you. Better late than never, right?
That's right. Yeah, it worked out just fine.
Yay.
Yeah, that's good.
All right.
You have a
Bye,
good-
everybody.
Thanks. Bye.